Welcome to Locked In with the Ladies. I'm Alyssa Lyons. That's Lindsay Eastwood, and she's Michelle Knezovic. And today, we are locked in on the ladies. We talked about the NFL draft last episode. Tonight, we are talking everything about the WNBA draft. And I think there's only one person that we need to start off with, and she was the first pick, Sabrina.
I'm going to start with this one because you guys know I'm the basketball girl. You see my shoes, you see my basketballs right back there. I am absolutely ecstatic for her. Well, first off, let's just talk about the draft in general. Happened last week. Most viewers in 12 years. That's absolutely amazing. And Sabrina's New York Liberty jersey sold out in 1 hour. Now, that is insane. We talked about what she'd be able to do for the league, and not even 24 hours, she's already made history or helped make history. And we talked a lot about her going to New York and how New York is the mecca of opportunities. And I think that her going to the Liberty, they're going to be playing in the Barclays Center now, and the amount of attraction she's going to be able to bring to their games. We saw a lot with Kobe when he supported the WNBA. Think about how much more press you get on these games and attention via social media when you see people like that sitting courtside and supporting these women at their games. And, I hate to say it, but even approval from NBA players. You saw KD, he tweeted Sabrina, "Welcome to Brooklyn." And getting that attention, you hate to say that you need the validation, but I'm going to say it, the WNBA needs that validation to get out there and have other people support it so they can bring more attention to their league. And I think that is exactly what they've done so far and what they're going to continue to do.
I mean, just for press reasons, I think the WNBA is probably most notable for asking for more press. And I think they're starting to get it. But what about the other players in this draft field? I mean, Michelle, you definitely were kind of keeping your eye on it. Who else do you think really made an impact this year that we could see going into this season that besides Sabrina could really draw in more viewers?
You know what? Also, Megan Walker, she's from UConn. I actually got a chance to talk to her at the American Conference Championship. She's only a junior. She went 7th or 8th. I'm not exactly sure. But she also is going to be on the Liberty and talk about a shooter. Just her jump from her sophomore to her junior year, she averaged 20 points her junior year, and I think she was at about 13 or 14 her sophomore year. She made an enormous jump, and we talked a lot to her about it, and she said really it was just developing her body and eating right and practicing and working out, and she really made that transition. I think also another name, I love her, she's from Texas A&M, Kennedy Carter. She is going to the Atlanta Dream. Talk about a player who plays with absolute grit. She gets in there, she drives to the rim, and I'm so excited to see her in Atlanta. They posted a video on social media, and it was a phone call with Coach and Kennedy, and she's like, "Welcome to the Dream, Kennedy," and she got like all excited. So those are two players I'm really excited to see this year.
Speaking of exposure there earlier, that's so big for the WNBA, having these professional players reaching out, and the NBA is one of the most watched, it has the most exposure in the world. So having them giving praise to these athletes, that's massive, and that's only going to help professional women's sports in general grow and get the exposure that they need, because how are young players supposed to dream it without being able to see it? I love that quote. If they can't see it, they can't dream it. So having this WNBA draft being the most watched in women's sports and how long, that's incredible. And it really puts female sports on the map, especially the WNBA.
And Linz, you made a good point. Sue Bird actually was talking during the draft, and she said something that really kind of resonated with me, and it made me think of what you just said. If you can't see it, then you can't dream it and you can't believe it. And this is really one of the first generations where these girls getting drafted, they're around our age, they really grew up being able to watch the WNBA and seeing that it is possible for them.
Guys, we talk about having dreams. Another dream was realized, not in the professional NBA, WNBA, but in college. Ivy, the Irish, got a new coach.
Muffet McGraw has been there for so long, and honestly, this was really one of the first years that she hasn't had one of her girls in the draft, which is surprising. But the Irish, they didn't really have it this year. I mean, in some games, yes, but I remember when they were at the Dome this year, Syracuse, it was a pretty close game in the first 2 quarters. And then after halftime, the Orange really took away. And we know that the Orange had a very up and down season and weren't very consistent, but I don't think the Irish had it either. And after 30 years of coaching, I was surprised to see her step down and then also pass the torch so quickly. But I mean, who knows? Maybe we'll see another big year from her new coach.
Yeah, Muffet McGraw, 33 years, over 900 wins. She was really creeping up on 1,000. You know, she has to be proud for the legacy she left with the Irish. She's probably one of the most recognizable coaches in basketball history. On the women's side of things, I think there's a lot of dreams that she realized for her players, having them being able to enter the WNBA draft.